John, it is the Skelebration. Whatever that means, we have new MOTU reveals for the Origins and Masterverse line. There's spring wave of releases that Mattel has sent to us to oogle over and get excited about. So, John, what do you say we jump into it?
Let's do it. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So a lot of these we saw at Comic-Con. And this is what Mattel is saying is their spring release calendar or upcoming release for their Origins and Masterverse lines. And so they separate it by Origins and Masterverse. Let's start with Origins. Unfortunately, I don't have like high res images. They only sent this kind of, I think they want us to put this on social media or something like that. But I don't know. This is we talk about things on video, so this is how we're gonna rock it. But so a lot of things we already knew, right? He-Man, Skeletor, Beastman, Man-at-Arms, Tila, and Trapjaw as the cartoon series, which will be the main retail release. John, I know you for your shop, you're getting MOTU Origins figures. Do you already kind of have these ordered for your shop or no?
Yes. Yeah. Nice. All this stuff is ordered. Aside from the Snake Men that we have not seen yet.
Yes.
Essentially everything that's been teased or rumored, I've had on order for a while.
Nice. Awesome. Yes, let's get into, I think, the things that we'll all be excited about, the new reveals here. And that are these sweet Snake Men, as well as, we joked about it when I was in your shop on Saturday. Stranger Things is going to have properties for every single 80s pop culture property at some point. But let's start with Lord Grasp and Terror. We've been having these teas for a while now in art and stuff like that. We're finally getting these in action figure form. But I will say a little bit of a womp womp. These are Walmart exclusives. So Walmart exclusives for these two, as well as another one that's really exciting. But John, what's your thoughts on getting Lord Grasp and Terror in MOTU Origins form?
I'm really excited to get the figures. We've seen them teased on multiple different box arts, different, we've been looking at these figures for a while, including the classic series.
Yeah.
And it was only a matter of time, because if you look at the recipe of these figures, all the stuff needed for these guys has been made,
Yes.
So it was just a matter of time.
Yeah. And that's what I kind of love about them is they're so hodgepodgey, just bits and pieces throughout, just thrown together. And I think it's fun. I think they're a lot of fun. And yeah, excited to get these. Bummer it's a Walmart exclusive, but I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe it's a little stressful at first, but eventually enough exclusives come out. What's the word on the street about Mossman? I feel like some stores got a whole bunch and some didn't get any, but have mostly people gotten those, or what are you hearing?
I've still yet to see a Mossman in store myself.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean he's not out there, because, friends have helped, I think, both of us out to get a Mossman.
Yeah.
So it seems like the stores that do have them, there was an overabundance.
Yep.
And I think the upside is that overabundance at those certain stores have caused there's no real markup on those. There's not a lot of Mossman scalping happening anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think it's gonna reflect even more so on these guys. I don't think these figures are like must-haves unless you're a completist. Unless I think in the Origins community, there's a lot of collectors that just stick with vintage. I only want it if it was a vintage figure.
Yeah.
This is certainly for the.
This was almost vintage figure, right?
Yeah, you could have done this in vintage if you so wanted to. A little bit longer, cut your figures apart, but I'm all for more of these figures, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and these are so cool. Okay, now there is, and I'm sure maybe Toy Habits did an article about this, I don't know, potential figure at some point, but in my Google searching, I saw nothing about this cat, and he looks really freaking cool. We'll finish on Demogorgon here. Well, let's talk about Necro-conda. This sweet, I hope, glow in the dark enhanced Snake Man figure. He looks freaking awesome. Uses, again, it's a bit of a kit bash here. I see the Skeletor snake armor Skeletor, and then I think the snake armor legs as well. But still, if he's glow in the dark, I think this is a pretty darn cool figure. But it is another Walmart exclusive. John, what's your thoughts on this bad boy?
It looks pretty rad. I'm not gonna lie. I really like this one, and it's almost like the Snake Man's answer to Scare Glow.
Ooh.
You know, it's like is this their ancestor spirit?
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. I maybe too far down the line now, Mattel, but if that isn't your origin story, or like, I don't know, I think that's great. Like a Snake Man Scare Glow. I love that so much.
Yeah, like this could be like King Hiss's, once was Commander, or the evil of the beginning.
This is a Scare Glow was Ghost of Skeletor, which was kind of confusing when we were kids. So it was this ghost of King Hiss, right?
Right.
No, I love that. I love that idea. We don't know for sure if it's glow in the dark or not, but that looks very glow in the dark to me.
Yeah, that looks super glow in the dark. It has to.
It has to. Not to set up our Mattel friends for failure, but I do think for sure. But I it's again a lot of reuse, but well used reuse. To make a pretty cool looking figure. I love that, just kind of it's like a midnight kind of pearlescent blue. It just looks really freaking cool.
That looks like it has a really sweet color to it.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll again, I think you're right with these 3 Walmart exclusives. Hopefully, if you want them, you'll be able to get them, because even Mossman fan demanded figure. While they weren't at every Walmart, there's enough of them out there that there's not like some crazy secondary market price. And for these, I would assume, like to your point, demand would probably be a little bit lower, which should mean that hopefully everybody can get these bad boys if they make them in similar quantities to some of the more recent Walmart exclusives. But really cool trio of Snake Men. Hopefully, we'll get a Lady Slither Lair. I think it gets announced. Was it the 12th? I think they're announcing
it's on the 12th.
So I don't know. What was your votes again? You were Attack Track and
Attack Track and Doom Tower.
Doom Tower, yeah. So I know you didn't vote for those, but if we get the Lady Slither Lair, I think these will go well with it. But we'll see. Okay, move on from the Snake Men. This was the one that shocked you, John, because I don't think you was like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah.
So it's a Stranger Things Skeletor and Demogorgon 2-pack. This is not a Walmart exclusive. This is a Target exclusive. And we get a kind of redecoed Skeletor with the first version open mouth Skeletor head sculpt, which is interesting. And then we've got what amounts to kind of a hodgepodge of Beastman with the armor, and then a Demogorgon head and a new set of feet for the Demogorgon. John, what's your thoughts here?
Yes. Speaking of those feet, picture those feet red with white tips. Modulock feet.
Ooh. Oh, damn. Okay.
That's what I think. I think this is a little bit of a spoiler for an upcoming figure. I don't know one way or the other.
Sure.
I honestly don't. But that's the first thing that I saw when I saw those feet.
Yeah.
But
no, good call.
I love that wash on the Skeletor.
Yeah.
It's an odd take. I mean, this is more out of left field than I think like TMNT.
Yeah.
Stranger Things crossover. I'm going to assume these will be in a window box, but packed upside down, because that's what you do with Stranger Things.
Well, would Skeletor be right side up and then the Demogorgon upside down? Probably, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Or if they're like packed one on top of another, where like their feet are touching. So Skeletor,
like a mirror.
So the Demogorgon is Skeletor's sort of mirror image for the upside down.
Ooh, I like that. That's a cool idea. But yeah, it is funny how we've got a TMNT Stranger Things. What other Stranger Things crossovers do we have? I feel we got more than that.
Sort of Ghostbusters with the Ghostbusters pack when the heroes are wearing the suits.
I feel we've gotten. Why do I feel like we've gotten every permutation?
I feel like there's a ton of them.
Right? Why am I not remembering them? This is one problem of not doing it live because the chat will be like, "Oh, it's this," but
you idiots, you forgot.
You just have to add it in the comments afterwards, everybody. But yeah, I think it's fun. I think this one is a pass if you're only like true vintage completist. But I think the Demogorgon's cool enough. Plus, to your point, those feats, if you don't want to wait for a potential Modulok or something like that, you could buy a bunch of these and make your own, right? Maybe not.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe. But it is kind of cool because if you look, it's like two parts. You kind of have the shin that still looks kind of like the Beastman or Stratos shin. And then you've got like the little feetsies. So you kind of got some options there. But yeah, I think these are pretty solid. The other thing they did not put pictures for, and I'll share the little blurb that Mattel sent out to kind of give us all the information that we need, is something that you talked about when I was in the shop this weekend, and that is fan favorites. So not only do we have the new cartoon line, these special, store exclusives for Walmart and Target, we've also got for specialty stores, which your, Hero Stores, Toys and Collectibles would be a specialty store. You all get to have this fan favorites, which is kind of re-releasing maybe harder to find Origins figures for people to buy. So this first wave of fan favorites is King Randor, Ninjor, Webstore, and Trapjaw. And John, I know you said you've gotten these ordered for your store, but and I assume for everywhere else, probably Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, so like all of your specialty stores, but definitely go to your local specialty store if possible. But anyways, John, what you had some more insight on these though than just this little blurb here.
Right. Yeah. So the packaging is supposed to feature, rather than it saying new for 2020 or retro play, it'll say fan favorites in a burst. Yep. And the Trapjaw, from what I know, it's mini comic Trapjaw. It's not the straight up regular Trapjaw. So as much as we, dogged on Trap Jaundice and maybe he wasn't a figure everybody wanted, I think he does sell quite a bit higher on the secondary market. So I think he does warrant a re-release.
Yep. So yeah, I think this is great. I think it's great to allow people to get figures that are hard to find, especially, the later waves, and they have done a good job of re-releasing those waves, the harder to find ones, or putting those figures back out there. So I think fan favorites is a great way to kind of keep giving people opportunities to get the figures that ended up being harder to find, or even ones that were easy to find, but enough time has passed where they're not really easy to find anymore.
Right?
And it just makes perfect business sense for Mattel too. It's like they've already done all the work, might as well put them back out there again.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the old Playmates playbook approach to action figures. But yeah, okay. So I guess Necro-conda was in the artwork. I'm just reading this now. I guess I missed that part when I was reading. So yeah, this is the MOTU Origins reveals, and then for Masterverse, we don't see anything new as far as reveals go. I think every single one of these we saw at San Diego Comic-Con, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think we saw all of these at San Diego Comic-Con, but at least we have some more details. So these will all be retail release figures, and availability. The 2024 product begins shipping to retailers as of November 1st. So even though it's a spring release, these will start hitting soon. And I'm sorry, the same is true for these Origins figures. And then John, do you have these Masterverse ones on order too, or no?
I believe the wave that has Trapjaw, Man at Arms, and the Skeletor and Sorceress Tila, I do. The
Mm-hmm.
others have not been put up for orders from as far as a wholesale standpoint, anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and Evelyn, the movie Evelyn has been ordered. I have ordered her.
Yeah, I think for specialty stores, it's the Orko Gwildor 2-pack and Evil Lyn are the specialty store exclusives.
Yep.
And then everything else will be for all retailers.
Yep. I'm assuming once this drops and pre-orders open,
yeah,
the remaining things will go up for wholesale as well.
Yep. And I gotta say, like, all the Revolution figures are great. The new series, I think we just had our first trailer drop for that, or our first, scenes from that drop. But then the new Eternia figures look really good as well, with Trapjaw, Man at Arms, Mechanic, and Triclops. It's we've done a few videos on this channel of classics versus Masterverse. And as time goes on, I feel like Masterverse keeps knocking on that door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As I look at these, I get the same feeling I did when we saw Masterverse or Classics preview pics from San Diego back in 2009, 2010. You get that same feeling where this is new. This is good.
Yeah. Yep. But John, any final thoughts here on the Masterverse Origins reveals?
Everything was good. I'm kind of surprised there's no picture here of the Night Stalker that we've seen at
yes.
Comic-Con.
Yep. Because is that coming around the same time? I think it is supposed to be.
I don't know. I feel like that thing's like the elephant in the room. Like it was in the case and there's very little talk about it.
Yeah, because even when I was there and talking to the Mattel team, they're excited about it. And I think they did talk about it in the panel as well. So I assume it's coming. It's just not a part of this official announcement. And it may very well could be like it just shows up on Entertainment Earth with all of these when they go up for pre-order.
Right. It's like all of a sudden, here it is. Oops, sorry, we got to cancel the orders. It wasn't supposed to go up.
But yeah, so November 1st, they're supposed to start hitting retailers. So that's coming up really soon. Then I assume so. Like they didn't give us an official like when these will go up for pre-order. But since this is this was embargoed until 12 p.m. Eastern today, the 3rd, I assume probably all the online retailers will start putting up orders shortly after this. Is my guess.
Yeah.
If they're following the previous thing, and to your point that you were saying earlier, John, you've already ordered a lot of these things, and we'll have them showing up to your shops soon. Hey, what is it like, kind of knowing some of this stuff ahead of time now, like being in the know since you're a toy retailer?
It is. I mean, it's awesome, but for the most part, really, like they're not even allowed to show me pictures. They can give me a description of what it is, and even like when they told me that the Masterverse packaging was being changed, they could only tell me like it's full art now with a window, a smaller window, and it looks awesome. So they're like essentially describing it to me over the phone. And be like, you got to see it. You get it. It looks so good, but we can't show you.
And then you have to like buy it on spec,
Yeah, you do. And then when I get my invoice, because the orders are all done over the phone. There's no emails, no nothing. When I get my invoice, it's essentially everything is under code names because they still can't put anything in print, even at that, because that was about 2.5 months ago. So it is really cool knowing what's coming, and it's just not this, like the amount of other stuff. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, one last thing I did forget to say about the MOTU Origins. Not only are they doing, I think it's per 2 cartoon collection characters, there'll be 1 fan favorite reissue in there as well. Because I think, what have I seen? It's She-Ra and
She-Ra, Merman. So 2 Filmation characters with the assortment, and 2 fan favorite reissues with the assortment. So it'll be 2 and 2, and then for the next wave after that, 2 and 2 again. So that'll be essentially the only way that we're getting regular Origins characters still at retail, because I think at that point Origins will be fully moved to Mattel Creations.
Yeah, so any new vintage style figure will be creations.
Yep.
There will still be vintage style in retail, but there'll be fan favorite reissues, which I think is fine because there's going to be some weirdly tooled figures. Cool, make creations pay for it, and then it could be re-released to full retail, down the line. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know the strategy there. Maybe they're like, nope, sorry, you have to get it creations, but I don't know. I don't see the harm in doing that. All right, John, I think that's a good place to wrap it up, right?
Yeah.
Boom. Well, there you go. Thank you again to Mattel for sending this over to us to share with all of you. Again, I'm sure all of the other people that are in the Mattel influencer thing are going to be posting videos and blog posts and all that kind of stuff. Please go out and support all of those as well. And until next time, hasta luego and goodbye. Have a great day, everybody.